They gather in the squares, flags raised high, voices loud. But ask them about Tehran, Damascus, Beijing. And suddenly the crowd goes quiet. You march, you march. You march. You march through Paris. You march. You march through Paris with your signs and your rage, while Novaya Gazeta gets buried on the page. You pull the flags out when it fits the narrative right, but where were you in Darfur? Where were you that night? Macron at the podium, Sanchez on the stage, both writing history while turning the page on everything that burns outside the frame. Uyghurs in the camps, but Israel takes the blame. Erdogan speaks freedom with an iron fist. Journalists in prison, somehow off the list. You wave the human rights flag like it means something true, but rights are only universal when they're convenient for you. In the mirror, before you point the hand, is it justice you're after, or just somewhere to stand? The one democracy standing in the sand. You call it occupation, I call it a homeland. Look in the mirror, before you point. Look in the mirror. She gave the world the drip that saves your life in bed. Algorithms, medications keeping you from dead. Desert made to bloom, technology to share. But at the UN podium, nobody seems to care. 124 votes, a coordinated shame, while Syria burns and nobody calls her name. You sign the resolution with your evening pen. Go home to sleep and do the same thing again. They say never again at every memorial gate. Then build the institutions that recreate the hate. The only Jewish state, one strip of ancient land. Somehow always guilty, never understood, never planned. I don't ask you to agree with every choice made, every policy, every line, every decade. But hold the same standard you claim that you keep. The silence on the others runs too wide and too deep. A child in the street can see the king has no clothes. A child in the street already knows how this goes. They'll scream for the ceasefire when the cameras are on. Go quiet when the rockets fly after the dawn. Roger Waters sells the boycott from his private jet. Bella posts the caption, but she hasn't seen it yet. The tunnels underneath, the children use the shields. The hostages forgotten in the open fields. Butler writes the theory from a comfortable chair. Chomsky draws the map but never lived the nightmare. It's easy to be righteous when the cost isn't yours, when you sleep in safe houses behind comfortable doors. They say it's about justice, maybe some of it's true, but justice that's selective isn't justice, it's a coup. A coup against the mirror, against looking inside, against asking the hard question, who else do we decide to hide? Look in the mirror before you point the hand. Is it justice you're after, or just somewhere to stand? The one democracy standing in the sand. You call it occupation, I call it a homeland. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror before you point. Look in the mirror. She didn't ask to be the symbol of the world's conscience. She asked only to exist, to plant, to build, to heal, to be left alone to live. But every generation and every language, someone decides she shouldn't. And every generation, she's still here. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror.